This is my review for the Transformers Studio Series number 57 Deluxe Class Off-Road Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie. So this figure here is based off of the Jeep version from the beginning of the Bumblebee movie when he was fighting Blitzwing. In this review, I'm going to go over his articulation, I'm going to compare this figure to a few other figures in my collection, and I'm going to give you my overall opinion on this figure. Before I start this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm actually trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. If you guys can help me make that possible, I will gladly appreciate it. Anywho, let's get on to the video. So here is Bumblebee in his robot mode, and this figure is a really solid figure. I really enjoy this figure a whole lot. He's really fun to play with despite him being super small, but him being small, I actually don't mind him being this small in this scale. With him being a deluxe class, he actually matches up with some of the other figures in the same line, so I don't really mind that at all. And plus, even in the movie, he was quite small, like especially when he scanned into that VW bug mode, he was quite small in that mode too. But anywho, looking at the details of this figure, you can see that, oh, okay, I'm not focusing, but you can see that his Jeep part right here, the Jeep chest mode, is looking pretty nice. Unfortunately, I had this figure for a few years, and I used to play with these Transformers a whole lot when I was younger, and I got a little bit of paint chipping. But I do plan on painting the figures up and making them look a whole lot better, especially since his Autobot symbol is basically all the way gone, but I'm gonna paint that back. But overall, he has some really nice looking details. Here's his shin, his feet. You know, he looks really, really solid overall, all around. And even the backpack, it cleans up pretty well too. Like, it's just a really fun, compact figure here. Now, getting a close-up in on his face here, you can see where mine is quite scratched up and is missing a lot of paint, but you can see the nice blue eyes right here. Getting a better look at that chest detail, you can see where all that kind of lines up here, and his legs. It's overall a really pretty solid detailed figure who could definitely use a little bit more paint here and there. So now moving on to articulation, he can kick up this far, can kick back about that far, his legs can bend about that far, his knee can bend about that far. He has ankle pivot actually due to this ball hitch that is due to transformation. He has an elbow joint about 90 degrees. His arms can go up this far. He can almost do a full 360. Actually, he can. You just got to get it around the little wheel piece right here. No wrist joints, unfortunately. Head can look up this far, can look down that far. That's due to transformation. His head can turn around all the way. And that's about all for oh, he has a waist joint, which it gets in the way. This backpack gets in the way a little bit. So you can only twist it about like that far before his legs run into this little hinge back here. Moving on to comparisons, here is Shattered, the main villain of the movie. We have Cybertronian Cliffjumper, who is actually the retooled version of that Jeep Bumblebee right there. We have Concept Art Sunstreaker, who was actually not in the movie. And here is Blitzwing, and you can see the height difference is majorly different. You can see that this is actually pretty accurate from the movie. And moving on to some quick comparisons of different Bumblebees. We have the Volkswagen Bumblebee, the Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee, and my personal favorite, the Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. And you can see he got his wings back, by the way. Now, with comparisons out the way, Bumblebee comes with this one tiny arm blaster, which actually fits his arm quite well. It just goes over his arm like this, and you can see it kind of looks like it transformed with the way it covers his arm like that, which is pretty cool. I also like to take the Stinger blade from the Volkswagen Bumblebee, and actually you can attach it to his arm right here. I think this was intentional because it's the same ports on his arm and it just clips on like that. And you give him the Stinger sword and blaster. So now moving on to his Jeep mode. And here is the Jeep mode that appeared in the movie for like 5 seconds. But it is a very nice looking Jeep for it to be so small. It's a very small, compact thing, just like robot mode. And there is a few problems here, being the arms kind of stick on the bottom a little bit and it's kind of visible from the front, and you can see a little bit of the shins on the back. Yeah, it's just a little bit in the way a little bit, but it's not too bad. But, you know, overall, detail-wise, really solid. He has some solid looking paint colors. The paint matching's actually pretty spot on too. It's not too much of a different yellow. So you can see the front grille here is actually painted And the yellow piece right here is also painted, and you can see that it's it's matching up pretty damn well. And then, you know, he does not have pinned on wheels. He has the mushroom peg wheels, and he rolls fine. He rolls pretty decently, so he can roll out of the way from the US agents. But he also has some nice looking seat detail in here, which my camera's not focusing for some reason, but got some nice seat detail in here. He has the steering wheel here, you know, you got some tire here, maybe a gas can here, you know, some pretty nice looking details, and I overall appreciate the effort that they put into this. Moving on to comparisons, here is the 2009 Revenge of the Fallen Camaro Bumblebee. You can see how they look together. Cybertronian mode Cliff Jumper, and my custom painted Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, who is also an off-road vehicle. A few things I forgot to mention. I'm not including Shatter or Blitzwing in the comparison, mainly because it wouldn't make sense to compare the Jet to this Jeep. And also, I also forgot to mention that the gun can also store right in the bottom between his legs on these tabs right here, just like that. And the sword, there's not really a place to store it, so if you really want to keep it with him, you can just probably sit in the seat like that, and you can maybe hide it away like that, and it works like that. So now, wrapping up my review on the Transformers Studio Series number 57 Deluxe Class Off-Road Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie. And this figure is a really fun figure to mess around with, transform, pose around. He's really fun to play with him being so small and quite accurate to the movie. His Jeep mode has a little bit of undercarriage on the bottom, which is a little bit annoying, but he rolls well and it doesn't get too much in the way, so I can excuse that. But if you guys have this figure, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this figure, and make sure to subscribe, like, and help me get to my goal of 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. If you guys can help me do that, I will gladly appreciate that. Anywho, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.